Okay, so today we're going to look at a couple of new things. First of all, let's just review the triangle sum theorem. And all of that means is if I have the three angles of a triangle and I measure them and add them together, they will always equal 180 degrees. And that isn't something that is new to us. We've learned about that before. So if we look at a couple of examples, all we need to do is to find our missing angle is just take 180 degrees and subtract off the two known angles, and so 55 plus 51 is 106, 106 degrees. So our missing angle x here then would be 180 minus 6, and so that would be, well, if we add 4 to 6, that would get us up to 110, so that would be 74 degrees. So x equals 74. What about on this one over here? Maybe we could do it this way. 180 minus 40, which is 140. And now we're going to subtract 104. So we're taking off the two angles that we know, and that would give us 36 degrees for x. So the triangle sum theorem we've seen before. It's not new. Okay, so if we give you three angles, we might ask, well, what are these? The three angles of a triangle? Well, if they add up to 180, they are. So let's try it. Well, the first one, yep, they're the angles of a real triangle. However, the second one is off by a little bit, 162.5. Let me double check that math. That might not be the right number. So I'm going to get my calculator because you've got to make sure you get the right calculations. Otherwise, we'll be in trouble, right? So 95.1 plus 27.8 plus 67.3 equals, oh, it's 190. We better alter that, 190.5. So 190.5, which means that we're off of a 180 by 10.5, right? So subtract 180 from there and you get 10.5, so we are 10.5 bigger than we should be. So in order to make this right, according to our instructions, we're going to come to our first angle measurement and we're going to minus 10.5 from it. So if we do that, we go 95, 94, bring down to 11. So 11 minus 5 would be 6, 4 minus 0, 4, and 9 minus 1 is 8. So our first angle needed to be 84.6 to make it right. All right, so our next one, if we subtract 180 from that, we end up with 36 degrees. So we're 36 degrees off. So to make these add up to 180, we got to subtract 36 from our first angle so that the math will work out. So we go 11 minus 1 is 10. Bring that 1 over and put it on the 3, so that's 13. 13 minus 6 is 7, and 10 minus 3 is 7. So the first angle would have to be 77 degrees. Okay, so that's just three or four problems about the triangle sum theorem. Okay, now we have a new theorem today we're going to talk about. It's called the exterior angle theorem. And what that means is if you extend one of the sides of a triangle out a little ways, you actually create a fourth angle. And then we got it listed as D here. And it turns out that that fourth angle is always equal to the sum of the two remote angles over here on the other side of the triangle from the extension. 51 plus 53 equals 104. All right, so in our official definitions, it looks like this. An exterior angle is formed by one side of a triangle and the extension of an adjacent side of the triangle. If the triangle, in the triangle, the right, in this particular triangle to the right, angle 4 is an angle extension. Okay, it's on the outside, it's called an exterior angle extension. The remote interior angles of those two interior angles that are not adjacent to it are angles 1 and 2, as you can see up there. In fact, I will circle them. So here's the angle extension, and here's the remote interior angles over here. Okay, so it turns out that what we're trying to say is that this angle 4 is equal in magnitude or amount to the angles 1 and 2 put together. All right, so here's another way to describe it. So if you want, you can pause the video and kind of figure that out. But we say like angle BAC, like BAC is kind of around the angle in the order that it's listed here, is 50 degrees. And angle ABC, so ABC, which is 70 degrees, add up to 120 degrees. And they, in turn, would equal to the angle 3 out here. So we can go all the way around if we wanted and actually find each exterior angle by doing this. So that's what that's trying to display. So from this example, we conclude that any exterior angle is equal to the sum of its two remote interior angles. All right, so let's look. We have an exterior angle of 115, and it is a sum of these two interior angles right here. So if I minus 54 from 115, I get 61 degrees. So x equals 61 degrees. Wow, that was pretty easy, wasn't it? Okay, let's try this one. Now, in this case, they actually don't give us the value of the exterior angle. We're going to find it by adding the two remote interior angles that are way over here on the other side of the triangle. 66 plus 50, 66 plus 50 turned out to be 116. Okay, next. All right. Okay, in this case, we do know the remote or the exterior angle. So we have to subtract the angle that we know on the inside to find the angle that we're missing in there. So 124 minus 78. So 12, 11, carry the 1. 14 minus 8 is 6. 11 minus 7 is 4. So 46. So this would have to be a 46-degree angle. All right, I'm liking this. Okay, here's one more. I've already done it for you. The exterior angle out here, if you add the two remote interior angles, you end up with 129 degrees. So in these problems, you're either going to add them or subtract if they give you one of the interior and the exterior angles. Okay, so to kind of summarize then, here's another little example problem. So we know that the sum of the interior measures of any triangle is equal to 180. Okay, well, in this particular triangle, we have angle 1, 3, and 4. So they add up to 180. And then we're given that the measure of angle 1 is 42. So then that means that the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 4 would have to be 136 for them all to add up to 180. So if that's the case, then in this diagram, we also see that these two angles, angles 1 and 2, also add up to 180. That's interesting. These three inside add up to 180. These two right here also add up to 180 degrees. And since angle 1 is 42, right here, this is 42, it tells us that the measure of angle 2 would have to be 136 over here. So what did we learn by this? Well, we learned that these two things happen to be equal or congruent. And then we also learned that the sum of the two interior remote angles is equal to the exterior angle. So that's just a kind of a busy way of showing the official definition that we've been practicing. Okay, so our assignment is number 91, triangle sum and exterior angles. And be sure to show your work. And now on the one that we just did back here, though, that's kind of a complicated one. So on that one, just put a smiley face on your work paper or a little note that that one was one of those kind of problems. Okay, thank you very much.